got a string of girlfriends.
Yeah, and on Obama, I had no one come. The only thing I heard about Michelle Obama was that that she lost her law license because she had done something pretty heinous, and that the record of what she did, when she agreed to give up her law license, that record is now held by the Illinois State Supreme Court, and no one can see it. So that's the only thing I heard negative about her. Other than the fact she really runs the show with Valerie Jarrett at the White House. That's the other negative thing. But she's not the first lady who would have been running the show. We know that Nancy Reagan pretty much ran the show after Ronnie started suffering badly from Alzheimer's.
Absolutely. Let's go to more calls here. Let's talk to Paul in New Jersey, and then we'll go to Kenny and others. Paul, you're on the air.
How you doing? Wayne, do you know that we've been under communist rule since 1913?
Well, I know
the Communist Manifesto. The bankers took over.
Some sort of rule. That was the year the Federal Reserve kicked off, and also we had the Council on Foreign Relations starting not too long after that.
Which is British intelligence. I mean, what it really is fascist, above-the-law, tax-exempt bankers who have unlimited money they create, who put us under socialism, but only to control us. So I don't really call it a communist system. I mean, hell, the very same bankers funded the Bolshevik Revolution, put Mao Zedong into power. Your take on that statement, Wayne Madsen?
Yeah, I mean, it's totalitarianism. I mean, yes, a lot of this started in 1913 at the infamous Jekyll Island retreat, and we've seen. And
that wasn't communist. That was robber barons. And I'm not. Right. I mean, I get where the caller's coming from. Yes, right. Technically they use communist systems, but they're exempt from it. That's what people don't get. They create it for us, and then they set offshore exempt from it.
Right, right. And the thing is Woodrow Wilson certainly turned in. He was the first neocon. I always said that, even under the dark days of Bush Cheney. There's talking about the neocon. This is the first neocon was Woodrow Wilson with what he, and he's the guy that instituted the Espionage Act, which Obama has brought more charges under the Espionage Act against whistleblowers than all of his predecessors, including Woodrow Wilson, combined.
Yeah, they put Obama in as a closer, like a closing pitcher, to just bring it all in. And I've got to say, they've got a lot done, but it's blowing up in their face. And I don't think he's gone very well for him. I would have to say, Wayne, for the establishment, I don't think they're doing too well.
Right. And you would think next time they're not going to take the first covert operative in the CIA and make him the president of the United States. Maybe they'll, if they want another one, they'll take at least a mid-level person or a higher-level person like a George H.W. Bush and put them in charge of the country. But, yeah, it was a big disaster to take a low-level covert operative and groom him for the presidency.
And I don't agree with the decision that it's all about America hating. But at the end of the day, you look at these authoritarian liberals and right-wing neocons, they really don't like the country and want to dismantle it. And I don't get why, if they run it, why do they want to shut the power plants off and ship the jobs overseas and get our guns? We were all going in the direction they wanted. I guess it's a bully's instinct to just try to dominate everything.
Alex, the limousine liberals and the neocons, they drink together in Washington. They go to the same social events in Washington. They really love each other because they feed off of one another. This whole dichotomy of, left versus right, they need that to exist. Otherwise, they're sources of funding, whether it's from the Koch brothers or the late Richard Mellon Scaife or George Soros, it dries up. They love to hate each other. Or they love to hate each other. Either way.
Let's do one more segment, Wayne. I appreciate your time because I want to get to Kenny, and then we're going to get to Jeremy, Ned, and Shelley quickly when we come back. WayneMadsenReport.com. Wayne, what else do you have on your radar screen?
Alex, I was also in Nebraska recently. There's a Senate race there, and unfortunately, anyone who remembers the infamous Franklin credit union scandal, the use of kids out of Boys Town for prostitution, that thing has come back again in a current race for the Senate in Nebraska.
Wow, we'll have to talk about that as well. Jam-packed coming up. We'll see if we can keep Wayne even longer. I mean, there's no 6-minute segments coming up. There's no way to cover that in that time. WayneMadsenReport.com. And again, I'm your host, Alex Jones, Infowars.com. You can follow us on Twitter at RealAlexJones. If you're watching, you are the resistance.
In the U.S., 1 in every 50 homes will have a break-in this year. Burglars call it smash and grab. Police call it robbery. We call it avoidable. We are Fake TV, a simple electronic device that can fool even professional burglars. Fake TV easily plugs into any outlet and simulates the changing colors of a television. To a burglar, it looks like someone must be home watching TV, so they'll likely move on to an easier target. At only $29.95, Fake TV costs less than a month of most alarm monitoring plans and comes with free shipping. Order your Fake TV by calling 877-5-FAKE-TV or go to faketv.com. That's 877-532-5388 or faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Alex Jones here for Infowars.com. In the month of July, we have got giant specials on everything at MadeIn1776.com. The already discounted Made in 1776 t-shirts are only $17.76. We have the new belt buckles that in only 2 weeks of sale are very close to selling out. There's only 500 of each. We're talking about Made in America belt buckles in nickeled brass. This is more than a summer blowout special. This is a new declaration of independence. But to expand the InfoWar, we're offering the equivalent of more than 5 months free right now when you get a membership at PrisonPlanet.tv. For a limited time, only $39.95 a year. That's more than 5 months free off the regular price. Not just this July 4th weekend, but the entire month of July at MadeIn1776.com. Molon Labe, you can take my gun from my cold, dead hands.
Question: could too many GMO foods and toxins be overloading your digestive and immune systems? Answer: yes. If you're searching for a powerful detox that's gentle enough to use every day, use Pro-EM1 from Teraganix. Pro-EM1 is a powerful liquid probiotic that uses good bacteria to suppress pathogens and gently eliminate toxins from your body. A healthy digestive system will cleanse and remove toxins, support weight loss, improve absorption of food nutrients, and aid in controlling yeast and other infections. Pro-EM1 is made with only non-GMO and certified organic ingredients, has no preservatives, and is dairy, soy, wheat, and gluten-free. Pro-EM1 is the key to your digestive health. Order Pro-EM1 Daily Probiotic Cleanse at Teraganix.com, spelled Teraganix.com, or call toll-free 866-369-3678. That's 866-369-3678. Also available through Amazon Prime. Pro-EM1 from Teraganix. Life's getting better.
Time and time again.
You need to come here and help us. We need assistance, please.
Those we should be able to depend on let us down.
Federal and state and local officials saying help is on the way. Well, the folks here in Bell Harbor say, show me.
Don't depend on the government to save you. Take action now so that you're prepared for the next disaster with MyPatriotSupply.com. Get the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more at MyPatriotSupply.com. Call 866-229-0927.
We are hurting down here and we need help immediately.
Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Bottom line, Wayne Madsen, Alex Jones back live, folks. We're going right back to calls, but I want to ask you, when the White House press secretary comes out yesterday and says that we have a substantially improved tranquility of the global community, that Obama has done that, they've got to know that that is ridiculous. Do you agree with my basic approximation that the world's probably never been more unstable than it is now, and that everything Obama and George Soros and the State Department are doing and the neocons are doing is to destabilize?
Right. I mean, the White House, being the spin meisters that they are, trying to put lipstick on a pig. by making this claim. The world is very unstable right now, and the chances are we're going to see an increase in that instability as there's plans to push what happened in Ukraine and Syria and Iraq, try to push that further into Eurasia and go after the two big prizes, Russia and China.
We're going to go to calls, finish with who's on the board. You've agreed to stay to 45 after, and then we'll get into geopolitically where you see it all going. And I want you to quantify in like a 5-minute period, because you've been interrupted by breaks and by myself, this relationship with Saudi Arabia, the caliphate, ISIS, and government officials and Obama, because it's in mainstream news now, what you were talking about a while back ago about members of the establishment being secret Saudi Arabian Muslims. Right now, let's go to Kenny in Florida. Thanks for holding, Kenny. You're on the air.
Greetings, comrades. I want to thank you both for being the tip of the spear to start with. I pray for you often. But,
thank you.
I wanted to run something by you. We know that the United States created Al-Qaeda and Israel created Hamas. If the majority of people in Israel don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah, why are American Christians so quick to jump to the defense of Israel? No matter what they do, you basically have Palestine shooting bottle rockets at Israel, and Israel getting back with the most high-tech weapons in the world. And do you think this will ever end?
Yeah, that's a great question, Wayne. I want you to give your take, and then I will.
Yeah, the thing what Kenny's referring to is, of course, the people like John Hagee. They call themselves Christian Zionists.
He actually says Jesus is not the Messiah. I have it on video.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are they're worse than the old carnival barkers and the old revival tents. But they're deep pocketed. They get a lot of money to build these mega churches. But what they're preaching has no relevance to the New Testament. So I don't know how they can even call themselves Christians. They say, oh yes, we support Israel. They're more supportive of people like Netanyahu and the settler parties in Israel than some of the other center-left political parties in Israel.
But again, I agree with a lot of what you said about that, but you've got the globalists manipulating the Muslims to be radical and do crazy stuff. And why are they shooting these rockets out of Gaza and out of Lebanon if it means they get bombed? And why do they do it from civilian areas? See, that's what I'm saying. You got ISIS over here. I mean, what's the grand chessboard point, Wayne, of doing all of this?
Well, it all gets to the increasing instability. Just when it looked like there might have been some advancement on the peace front, now we have this situation with Gaza, and now the Netanyahu is saying, well, you see, we can never give independence to the West Bank. We got to remain there. So it meets an agenda, and an agenda
Sure.
has been set that the Palestinians on the West Bank are going to be told to look elsewhere.
No, I know, but who could trigger them to fire rockets? Because they say they're firing them. I could see a false flag where some Israeli...
I can too. As a matter of fact, Moshe Dayan said Israel will continue to exist by doing exactly creating these false flag situations.
Oh, you think Israel may be shooting the rockets?
Or at least somebody in... Look, as the caller said, it was Israel that created Hamas to be a foil against Fatah, which is the majority party of the Palestine Liberation
PLO, yeah. And for those that don't know, that's in the Jerusalem Post and Haaretz. I mean, we're not... Every time I say that, I get mean emails. How dare you say Israel founded Hamas? That's in the Knesset. I mean, that's not debatable. What, 1975?
Right. That's it's a matter of historical fact.
But see, people hearing this out there, hearing reality, I mean, I don't have some dog in the fight. I don't hate Israel when I tell the truth. I'm reading it out of the Jerusalem Post. I mean,
Right. But keep in mind that Israel has been very, very good at doing exactly what we were talking about earlier with GCHQ, using all kinds of tools.
Their system's called Megaphone.
Megaphone and the Hasbara community, right, they can call on for that type of help.
And it's a small political class using instability in Israel to keep control of their population. Sound familiar? Thank you, Kenny. Great question. We're going to talk to Jeremy, Shelley, Ned, and Sam. And then that's it for calls. We'll get into the Muslim angle of this. We're looking at everything. Nothing's taboo here. Hell, we'll look at the Vatican, too.
We're on the march. The empire.